سیدنا مولانا محمد مبارک بسلسلہ علیہ. محبوب کی محفل کو محبوب سے جاتے ہیں، آتے ہیں وہی جن کو سرکار بلاتے ہیں. بآواز بلند محبت اور عقیدت سے میرے آقا کے بارگاہ میں درود پاک نغمہ پیش کریں. پڑھیے صلی اللہ علیہ رسول
I'm actually very honored to actually stand over here and be here today in Kashmiri project, which is in my ward. And I'm so happy that I know that friends of the association are holding this charity dinner party for the mayor's charity. They could have done it for the Kashmir, they could have done it for the Pakistani people who are suffering at this present moment, but the thought is there to give it to my charity. So I would like to give you all a round of applause, please, for that. Thank you. And I welcome you all in this nice, wonderful place. And I hope you all have a nice and enjoyable day. And I know it's not a time of politics, but then again, I've heard what's happened in Kashmir for the last 40 years of my life since I was 5-year-old. And I just wish one day you will have that freedom and you will get your rights. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
I think before I proceed, I know we've got a new Prime Minister and he's very good with money, I hope he is, he gives us some. Nothing happens without money. And I'd like to thank the sponsors, which are in the sprint, I think sitting there. We've got Ibrahim, famously known as Junior, Lars, out of cash and carry, Shabir Hussain, famously known as London's owner, last but not least, KYP. And also people have bought tables and you can see their names on the table. And special thanks go to Kashmir Youth Project and also Kamran Majid, who's sitting right there, and Sagir Ahmad, their team, they've worked very hard for this dinner to happen. And Kashmiri Youth Project staff, I especially like to extend thanks to them. And now sit back and can I invite the Adnan artist for tonight to recite Machine. Thank you. Thank you very much, Zof. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you here on Kashmir Day. And essentially we are here in support of our mayor and his charities. And once again, thank you all for coming. I think if you go through the program, then people will know what is expected. First, we'll have the sheet program, and then following that, we will have Pahadi poetry. One of the poetess from Bradford, if she gets here in time. I think there's an accident on the motorway. And then we'll have a presentation by KDF. And while we're having our presentation, I think we'll start serving food because we won't starve. We usually we torture people to end. So in between, and we're fortunate to have our public health director sitting down there at the back. We've started an initiative in light of Pakistan floods and it's called From Raçhdeel to Pakistan, which is 3,852 miles. And I know you know I'm a keen walker, but I'm not doing it on my own. We all need to walk, log on, and then donate some money to alleviate some of the misery that people of Pakistan are going through. You know, it's 1/3 is underwater. As of September, there were 1,500 people killed, 12,000 injured, and probably 33 million people displaced. And that's massive, massive for any country. And Pakistan is not a very affluent country. Following that, we'll have a raffle. There'll be people coming around. Please give generously, and we've got some raffle prizes, books, and some perfume, and a selfie stick, and then one or two other things. It's worth it. And then we've got a major prize, dinner for two at Coco's restaurant, and there are two prizes. And then that is, you know, you might see envelopes on the table. Please do donate, and it's all going towards Meïr charity and local charities. And then those, write your name on the envelope, and then those will be drawn by our mayor. And lucky two people will win dinner for two. It's a romantic one, and I've told them to put candles on. And once we've done that, we'll come back to the sheet then. I was hoping that while we're eating, the sheet will be going on, but if the artist feels uncomfortable, and you know the artist, I'm a little bit myself. It's very, very difficult. We respect that. And thank you. Can I ask Mr. Mayor to welcome everybody? And before that, can I ask Chair of RKA to present some flowers to the Mayor? Thank you very much.
دوزخ کی سب آگ بجھے جب دل سے کوئی ایک بار کہے دل سے کوئی ایک بار کہے حق لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ محمد رسول اللہ. Everybody together. Allahu 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 la ilaha illallah la ilaha illallah la ilaha illallah la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allahu 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 Allahu. نور الہی جب چمکا صلی اللہ کا شور ہوا نور الہی جب چمکا صلی اللہ کا شور ہوا اور ذرہ ذرہ کہنے لگا ذرہ ذرہ کہنے لگا حق لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ محمد رسول اللہ. Everybody together. Allahu 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 Allahu. اور بہت ہی پیارا شعر ہے کہ جد قبر دی کالی رات آوے سامنے او سونی ذات آوے مکھ چند بدر شاشانی مکھ چند بدر شاشانی مت چمک دلاج نورانی کالی زلف تے اکھ مستانی مخمور اکھی ہن مد بریا اس صورت نو میں جانا کھا کہ جان جہانا کھا سچ آنکھا تے رب دی مشانا کھا جس شان تو شانہ سب بنیا جد قبر دی کالی رات آوے سامنے او سونی ذات آوے اس وقت کلمہ یاد آوے اس وقت کلمہ یاد آوے حق لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ لا الہ الا اللہ محمد رسول اللہ. Everybody together. Allahu 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 Allahu
who made an effort to come here, who's brought in raffle prizes, who's donated, KYP, all the artists and everyone here. Thank you so much. We are proud Rachdelians. When we get together, I'm sure we can conquer that 3,852 miles to Pakistan. We need to do it. If we don't do it, our name is mock. It's in public domain. Start walking. Start walking. We want to do it. If we don't do it, me and Father Ram will do it on our own. Arshad might come along. Thank you very much. Thank you.
کچے رال منانے جڑے ہر دوے سال روڑی جانے سن کچے رال منانے جڑے ہر دوے سال روڑی جانے سن کس گجنے بڑیا وچ جڑے مٹی نال اٹن جانے سن اٹھ اچے مندرے جڑے ٹئی پینے سن زیویاں ڈاڈیاں پلیاں جڑیاں بدلاں نال روڑی جانیاں سن بناں ڈونگیاں جڑیاں کڈنیاں پینیاں سن بوٹے اچے لمبے جڑے کنڈنے پینے سن اپنے بیڑے اپنی باڑیاں جڑیاں سامنے جوگیاں پردیسیاں کی آلے مار دیا، وہ بولنے کوئی نہیں پر ساس مار. ڈیزائن نویں فیشن، بخلا کھانا نویاں جگہ، مشہور لوگ بڑھانا، کوئی گل جس تو لوگ متاثر ہو سن. جی لوگ دو کڑی متاثر ہو سن تو پھر کیا ہو سی. So it says new trends.
Thanks to all the people who donated to my charity today. I think that's one of the biggest charity money that I've received so far. And mashallah, alhamdulillah, all credit goes to all of you sitting in this room. I know, like we said again, it's a Kashmiri day. But Kashmiri day, the thought of the people of my borough in my ward, actually sitting in Central, who's actually organized all this. From me, from bottom of my heart, other councillor and my colleagues as well, I think will say shukriya and thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
I remember the plants. It's my apologies, I'm not going to translate this. I don't know the names of all of these plants and roots and berries that I'm talking about in English. But it says, but I hope you'll enjoy the rhythm of it. So it says, Miki Bute Yadishane. Pipletha Lepe Vipin, Popoli Banipur, Sriani Cham, the Peri Yada. توترے ٹو ڈارنیاں بلبلاں سویرے سویرے میزانہ او سیٹ اپنی لسانی ٹالینا بیرانیاں پڑیاں گداں شامی ہے گرندے چننا پینا تسیلیاں نال سکولوں بعد ونگیر کھانی شوکا نال گلوٹ کڈنا سابنے وچ تقرینے پھول انڈیاں چرنلیاں کریلیاں لسوڑے مامو نے کروں چاڑے وچ لدے کے توترے نانی نے کار وہ چھچڑے دے سونے مالتے پھول کسے کول وہ کلی پلائی پہلے وچ وہ ککڑ راہ وچ میک بوٹے سین نہیں لینے جلے آواز چلنی ہے سنے بیچنے کدوں کارج سے اساں جیکنیاں موتاں ہوئی گیاں تو کدوں مڑ سے میں پاسا مار رہی پرکھی کھلی تھینک یو. موڑی تے دروازے پر ہن گیٹ لگے اسی جندرا بند سی میں کندا کو اوپر چڑھی دے آئی سا جس بیڑے کی دو باڑی دیاری باڑی مارنے سا وہ ہر کونے میں مٹی گٹھی ہوئی سی. دودھ سکی گیا ہے سری بجے ہے مرسوں کی لوڑیا سی یار اندر پر چھتیاں نے پانڈے بکسیاں وچ سن تے کھٹانیاں چادراں پر دور سی. میں کوٹھے پر بھی لوڑیا سی ہر جتھے سن بت دفن کیتا سی اتھے گئی سا. تساں کون سو بولے میں حالیہ اپنی کڑومڑی آئی سا. جمی کی یاد کرے جلے بڑے آئی چار ٹچے کس چڑیا مکی یاد کرے جلے پائرا نے دیو سٹے پنڈیو تے کھما ترکینا مکی یاد کرے جلے تارا چڑیا تے فصلاں رائیو تگڑے دوندے نے جوڑی نال مکی یاد کرے جلے آڑ چیچ موڑے تے کھو سکی گیا تے پانیاں نی کھوئی پر لگی باڑی مکی یاد کرے جلے چن چڑیا تے سینیاں بٹیو تے کن پکی جلے عید آئی مکی یاد کرے جلے چھت چویا جلے اٹ ٹٹھا جلے باڑی روڑی مکی یاد کرے جلے گڑی لائیو جلے نویں کڑے آئے جلے لنگ کپیو جلے پلیار دیتیو مکی یاد کرے جلے توتی پورتے آلا کوئی دسیا جلے مراجے کی بدیو پگڑی جلے شیشہ پیتیو اوکے چون تے چلم نمی لائی مکی یاد کرے جلے ننگیو پلیاں قبراں کولوں تے نہ پڑھن نہ ہوئی کاوی چون جلے ٹٹھے وے کوٹھے تکیو تے خواب رولے وے لبے پیڑے وچ مکی یاد کرے. میں کبھی کبھی سوچتی ہوں میرے دل بے قرار کو آخر کیا چاہیے. آنکھیں بند کروں گر تو نظر آتا ہے یہ مجھے رات گہری سیاہ چاہیے تاروں سے بڑا ہوا آسمان چاہیے. چاند تو لازم ہے پر چودھویں کا چاہیے. چاندنی میں سامنے والی پہاڑی پر ہر گوشت اور لومڑ بھی دکھائی دینا چاہیے. صبح کے تارے کے ساتھ دادی کے اٹھانے کی آواز چاہیے. تاروں میں پتنگ ڈھونڈنے کے لیے بہنوں کا ساتھ چاہیے. رمضان میں سحری کو باجرا اور دہی چاہیے. برسات میں مکئی کا پراٹھا نانی کے ہاتھ کا چاہیے. شب برات کے گولوں کے مقابلے کے لیے کزن ایک وہی چاہیے. ईद पे जूस मिठाई और झूला बड़े मामूल से चाहिए। गंदम दाल और तिली अपने ही खेत की चाहिए। हर रोटी पे मक्खन और ताज़ा दूध के साथ चाहिए। पानी यख ठंडा अपने ही कुएं का चाहिए। मैं किसान का खून हूँ, मुझे अपनी जमीन चाहिए। मैं कश्मीरी हूँ, मुझे कश्मीर चाहिए।
It's a Kashmiri t-shirt. We are going to raffle this one. What shall we auction it? Which one shall we do? Shall we auction this one? Right. We're going to auction this one. The kids please. We're auctioning this wonderful t-shirt for Kashmir. Starting from £10. Anybody give us £10 for this? So 1, 2, 3, £15. Anybody more than that? Anybody more than 15? I've got 2 people for 15 here. 20, £20. Anybody more than that? It's a t-shirt, Kashmiri t-shirt. Anybody £20? More than £20? £25? Anybody? Somebody paid £25. Anybody more than that? £30? ये कश्मीर के लिए है, कश्मीर का टी-शर्ट है, इतना सस्ते में जाने दो, बोल दिया और ऊपर करो। Anybody £30? Anyone? Deputy sir, £25 one, £25 two is going. The deputy leader is taking it. Give the children a round of applause, please, for helping me. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I'll take it for 30.
Sorry?
I'll take it for 30.
आपके ऑप्शन खत्म हो गया, 30 pounds का चलेगा। I found a key here, it's a BMW car key. I'm not auctioning this off.
£5.
Somebody is missing here or lost the keys. Anybody knows whose keys it is? Anybody lost the keys?
Last days of leaving your home. I wrote this for my mum and for my mother-in-law. They often talk about the last day when they're left home, and they talk about how they took all the crockery down, packed it away, all the different things they talk about. And because we were farmers, I tried to incorporate in the next 2 poems as many things about land and farming as I can, because I'm conscious that, especially our younger generation, if I say to them, get me a kurpa, they're going to really look at my face and say, possibly kurpa, but definitely not going to have a clue what a kurpa is. So I've tried to put in as many of those words that those of you here from my generation are going to be able to understand. So it says, Jilakar chhodiya si. Jilakar chhodiya si. इस कलेजा फटने वास्ते सिर्फ शराब नहीं चाहिए होना। जिला पांडे 36 पर लाई ते 22 संदूके विच, जिला पांडे 36 पर लाई ते 22 संदूके विच, दलियां खंदलियां तलैयां ते रज़ाइयां बाइयां सन जिला पेटी विच, चादरां खलियारियां सन आखरी वारी, चादरां खलियारियां सन आखरी वारी, रंगा ने पाया ले पलंगा पर, हाल पंजाली खुरपे दराटी ते कुआड़ी लाए सन कोठी नी कंधा नाल, सेलियां खोली ते किले को जिला बाइयां सन पीपे विच, कोला चू कनक ते कुनियां चू बीज जिला बंडी छोड़िया सी, कोला चू कनक ते कुनियां चू बीज जिला बंडी छोड़िया सी, बेड़ा जिला माला चू खाली सी, चाचे जिला सफा बनी ते बक्सा रखिया सी सिरै पर, तसरिए इथों उठी ते कुत्ता टूड़ी प्यासी मारे नाल कलेजा उलारी पटिया सी. So I'll give you the translation. I'll give you the translation of this in English. So it says, when we left home, it's not only wine that bursts the liver. It's not only wine that bursts the liver. It's when we took the china off the shelves and placed it into boxes. When we put daliyan and duvets into metal containers. When we spread out the bedspreads for the last time on planks with colourful patterned legs. When we leaned Hal Panjali Kurpedrati and the axe against the wall of the storage room. when we undid the ropes from the kille and put them away in the pipa, when we gave away the last wheat from the gall and shared out seeds of generations. Seeds mattered a lot in our community. You'd starve, but you never gave your seed away because you're going to need it for next season. But when you were leaving the country, you gave out your last bit of seeds that you'd held for all the generations of your family. And shared out the seeds of generations when the yard was empty of any animal. When Uncle fastened his safa and lifted the suitcase onto his head, and the dog got up from under the tree and began walking alongside me, my liver was shred into pieces then too. Thanks.
So Dalit kindly invited me along tonight. He never said he was going to ask me to get up and speak to you all. Typical.
It wouldn't be surprised then, would it?
So a few weeks ago, I went into a meeting with Dalit to talk about a meeting that we had coming up. And in that meeting, Dalit was talking about, we sort of finished what we were talking about, and Dalit was talking about how passionate he felt about being able to do something to help people and help people affected by the floods. Dalit said he was going to go and walk for a week to try and raise money. So we had thought, let's not put all the burden on Dalit and think about how can we do something collectively. So we obviously it had to be linked with walking because it was Dalit's, but we wanted to think about how can we, like we were saying, about how do we show solidarity and sort of bring ourselves closer. So we came up with the idea that we would collectively, so the whole borough, to walk the distance between Rochdale and Pakistan, which is 3,852 miles. And we had to sort of set that up really quickly because obviously the nights are getting colder and getting darker quicker. So we needed to be able to do that as quickly as possible. So we're a week in, we've got a 5-week period that we want to try and achieve that in. So we started last Tuesday, and that will run to the end of November. So what we want everybody to do is every time you go out for a walk, every time you kind of walk to the shops, or you go for a walk, or you walk into work, any kind of walking that you're doing, we want you to count those miles. And on the Rochdale Council website there's a link that you can go in. It's really, really simple. You can just go in and put those miles in. So at the end of each week or at the end of every walk, we want to put those miles in, and we'll be able to track how close that we get to Pakistan. But that on its own it brings it us together. It makes us think about what we're trying to do, how we're trying to help, but we need the money. So that's what's going to make the real difference. So again, on the council website there's a sponsorship form that you can download. So if you want to be sponsored for doing those miles, then you can download that sponsorship form. But there's also a link so that you can make a donation. So we would really, really plead that you get involved, count those miles so that we can get all the way to Pakistan by the end of the time period, but give as generously as you can so that we can help the people affected by the floods. And as we said before, one of the things that Dalit was really passionate about was that perhaps the region, Kashmir, doesn't get the support that other areas in Pakistan were getting, and so it was really important that we supported Kashmir specifically, so working with Kashmir Development Foundation, but then also the Disasters Emergency Committee, which bring together lots of the big charities and coordinate all of that work right across the affected region. So yeah, if I just ask again, if you could just donate to those charities. The link, all the information is on the website, and don't forget to clock all your miles. Thank you.
Aksa Nabila ji ki jehड़ा Bradford thun, वो सारी टीचर भी है, राइटर भी है, उसने बुक में उसे रखी है, तो शायरा भी है. उसने मेन जी चीज़ है वो है कि इंग्लिश तो पहाड़ी दो जो जरा पहाड़ी विच पर्सन इंग्लिश में तर्जमा ही करते हैं, तो यू विल रियली रियली इंजॉय इट. तो उन्हें मैं आख्या भाई जितने तो सब नज़मा थी पढ़ो चुके फूड ब्रेड फूड तो इतनी सी एक्सीडेंट हो यार तो राज फंसे होना जैसे इतने ही हो जितना मर्जी है पढ़ो. Nabila.
We set off at 5 o'clock. It's the longest trip to Rochdale ever. I'm going to share a couple of poems with you. I'm going to start off with one in English, however. and then I'll alternate between languages. Thank you. I normally sound really close to the ground, so the mic always has to come to kind of follow me. I'm going to start off with a poem. It's called Kashmiri Mom's Plea. I wrote it on 5th of August 2018, after a few things changed in Kashmir. I have 2 teenage boys in Kashmiri, and I always wonder, if I lived in Kashmir, what would it be like? So this poem is called A Kashmiri Mom's Plea. And it says, you went out for prayers. You went out for prayers. You promised you wouldn't join the protests. You went out for prayers. You promised me you wouldn't join the protests. You told me you understood I need you alive. I've sacrificed more than my share. I can't lose you too. That was weeks ago. Please come home now. It says your auntie couldn't, sorry. It's what happens when you buy posh books and they have thick paper. You're not sure if you turned 1 page or 2. It says your auntie couldn't take the tear gas that came through the window. It's nothing new. It's nothing new, but this time it was too much. We buried her a week ago. Your cousins keep asking for their mum. They won't believe she has died. Maybe you will listen. Maybe they will listen to you. Please come home now. Your friends left to search for you. 2 have not returned. They keep saying they are held here, they're held there. They won't let us meet. We don't know if they're alive or dead. We need you to go look for them. Please come home now. So your granddad hasn't eaten. Your grandma keeps rationing her medicine. We ran out of most food days ago. Your sister keeps asking for sweets. The soldiers are ordered to rape. We need you to go to the shops, the chemist. Please come home now. The pellets in your uncle's eyes have caused infection. We can't take him anywhere. This curfew will outlast us, it seems. He bites the towel when he cries with pain. He thinks we don't know. Maybe you could bring the doctor after the Friday prayers. Please come home now. Eid came apparently. It missed us this time. Do you remember the prosperity they were promising us when they changed the law? This Eid was a sample of that. We didn't care anyway. Please come home now. Some say they will crush us. Some say we will be free. Some say we will be used again. Some say we are the next Holocaust, as the next Hitler and the new Germany rise. I don't care anymore. I'll go to hell and stay there willingly if you just come home. Thank you. 3 poems I'm going to share with you. I'll read in Pali and I'll give you the translation in English. These were published in Poetry Birmingham Literature Journal a few months ago. The first one is kind of a set that it covers nostalgia about Kashmir. I lived in Kashmir for 7 years between 85 and 92. I stayed with my grandparents there. We live on top of a hill on a small farm, and I left Bradford and got there and realised we had no electricity, no gas, no water and no road. I absolutely loved it. So this one's called Nani Nagara, and I'm hoping that quite a few of you will be able to relate to it. So it's Nani Nagara. It was Zindagi guzri hai, par Nani Nagara nahi bhulna. वो दिलीज वो चुल्हा नहीं भुलना, अपनी दोपहरी काले चुमनिया, हालानी रोटी ते ताज़ा सालन नहीं भुलना, वो मक्खन और लस्सी नहीं भुलनी, बड़ी हालाना लाज नहीं भुलना, सर्दियों में मामूली मूंगफली ते गर्मियों में जूस नहीं भुलना, सरियां नाल बाई भी पींग नहीं भुलनी, नानी की कस्सी भी चोट नहीं भुलनी, हत्थां में मेहंदी नहीं गोगी नहीं भुलनी, लीरा नाल बनाई हुई गुड़ियां नहीं भुलनियां, भरावां ने दित्तियां स्वीटां ते लाज नहीं भुलना, वो अखबारे जहां वो सारे रसाले नहीं भुलने, वो घड़े न पानी वो चार नहीं भुलना, वो खुले बेरे वो गुजिया नहीं छां, वो ईदां वो दिशूरे वो शबराता नहीं भुलनी, जिंदगी गुजरी गई है पर नानी नौगरा नहीं भुलना. I'll translate it for those of you who have no idea what I was on about. So it basically says my nan's village. It says life has passed, but I can't forget Nani's village. that village, that Julla, I can't forget. Especially talk about where we cooked and the place we sat on it. It's returning from college in the heat of midday to my halas roti and fresh salad. I can't forget. The makhan, the lassi, I can't forget. I can't forget the loving affection of my eldest aunt. The peanuts Mama bought in winter, the mango juice in summer. The swing on the tree, I can't forget. Or my nan's tie plate. The round circle of mehndi in my palms. The dolls made of rags. The sweets given by my cousin brothers. Those akhbar-e-jahan, the magazines of childhood, I can't forget. The cool water from the gara, that pickle. Those open yards, the shades of tree. Those Eids, the Shumre-Shab-e-Brats, I can't forget. Life has moved on, but I can't forget my nan's village. Thank you very much.
آباد آلا حبیبی کا خیر الخلق. ایک دن جبریل سے کہنے لگے شاہ امم تم نے دیکھا ہے جہاں بتلاؤ تو کیسے ہیں ہم. عرض کی سب کی عنایت سے ہے یہ وہ پیارا. مولایا صلی وسلم دائما ابدا علی حبیبک خیر الخلق کلہم. کہ جہاں پر ہو یہیں سے دو صدا سرکار سنتے ہیں. سرے آئی نہ سنتے ہیں پسے دیوار سنتے ہیں. میں صدقے جاؤں کی رحمت للعالمین کے پکارے چاہے جتنی بار وہ ہر بار سنتے ہیں. میرا ہر سانس ان کی آہٹوں کے ساتھ چلتا ہے. میرے دل کی دھڑکنے کی وہ رفتاروں کو سنتے ہیں. مدثر جب کسی محفل میں ان کی نعت پڑھتا ہوں. میرا ایمان ہے وہ بھی میرے اشعار سنتے ہیں. هو الحبیب الذی ترجى شفاعته. هو الحبیب الذی ترجى شفاعته لكل هول من احوال مقتحم مولایا. مل کے پیش کری شرمانا نہیں ہے. مولایا صلی وسلم دائما ابدا علی حبیبک خیر الخلق کلہم. مولایا صلی وسلم دائما ابدا علی حبیبک خیر الخلق
is rehabilitation, and the third phase is recovery. So all these three phases obviously need a sustained and focused humanitarian aid and as well as support from the local authorities. So what we're trying to do in that area, that because we are a small organization, we're accountable to our donors as well as our beneficiaries. And that's why we chose one of the area where we can work with the local authorities and other organizations to coordinate that one. In addition to what we are doing over there in relief and rehabilitation, we are supporting other charities and directing them and coordinating their delivery. For instance, one of our partner charity, which is Mea'r Education Project, they have spent over 1 million rupees in Pakistani rupees. They raised from Kashmir, not from the United Kingdom. And what we asked them to look after the children. So in this particular project, there are 62 houses, 62 families who are affected by the floods. 10 people have died. And then, obviously, 2 of the people still missing. Their bodies were never been found. And there were 174 children and young people who are going through the education. They have lost all their books, obviously clothes, everything. Nothing has left. So what we have done, that we supported through the other Mea'r Education Project to focus on supporting them, the children with books, clothing, shoes, and everything. And within 2 weeks, all of those students were back in the school. And in this particular, our project was focused on the 5 families who have lost their loved ones. They have died during the floods, and within 2 weeks, we have provided them with the accommodation, with fully furnished homes, with the support and generosity of the people from راچڈیل and across the United Kingdom as well. And then, obviously, another 16 families, we provided them with the LPG gas, because we understand one of the priority of Kashmir Development Foundation, obviously, is the climate action. And we do not want that the trees were, obviously, they already lost number of trees over there, the more being chopped to, obviously, to have the, to cook and use for other means. And that's why we provided with them with the LPG gas. Now, this particular village is, we are coordinating that one through other charities as well, but there is another village that has 27 houses they have destroyed. And with the local authority, district council over there, similar like local authority mechanism we have over there as well. So we have coordinated with them. So the local authority is providing with the cement and other building material, and we are trying to provide them with the corrugated sheets for the roofing. And that's the next phase for the next village. So that's a small effort, but we hope that at least there are over 1 million people displaced. They are distressed, they are in need, but at least if we can help 65 of them in one village and 27 in the second village, we did our bit. And that's what in our capacity. So we don't go beyond our capacity, what our capacity is, and we're trying to increase that one with your help. And please support Ráچڈیل Council appeal through walk. That will help you in your own health and well-being as well. And when you are walking, those remembering and also, in solidarity with those people, that will bring change, and that will help us to raise funds as well. So I'll hand over. I take much of the time. Hopefully the food have arrived to take forward as well. Thank you, Consul. Thank you.
ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله तेरे सदके में आका हमको पाकिस्तान मिला पाकिस्तान का मतलब क्या ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह मा फी क़ल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूर मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह किस्मत नबी बू जन्म गया आका से उसने ये कहा अगर हो नबी बतलाओ जरा मेरी मोटी में है क्या सिमत नबी वो जहल गया, आका से उसने ये कहा, अगर हो नबी बतलाओ जरा, मेरी मोटी में है क्या तो आका का फरमान हुआ, और फजले रहमान हुआ, मोटी से कन कर बोला क्या, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, बड़े हस्बी रब्बी ला माफी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह, नूर मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, के अपनी बहन से बोले उमर, ये तो बता क्या करती थी, मेरे आने से पहले क्या छुप के पढ़ती थी, अपनी बहन से बोले उमर, ये तो बता क्या करती थी, मेरे आने से पहले क्या छुप के पढ़ती थी, कि बहन ने जब कुरान पढ़ा, सुन के कलाम पाक खुदा, दिल ये उमर का बोल उठा, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह, माफी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह, नूरे मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, बोल ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह। जज़ाकल्लाह खैर।
Have affected people, and with the generosity of the British people and communities in Rochdale, how one of the charities which I am one of the trustees is Kashmir Development Foundation, is a national charity based in Rochdale, are trying to help in one of the villages which has been destroyed through these floods in Gilgit and Baltistan. So a little bit of the background of Kashmir Development Foundation is a community organization predominantly based in the UK, where our volunteers across the country within the Kashmiri diaspora and our headquarters in Rochdale, we work across the state of Jammu and Kashmir, in all the regions of Jammu and Kashmir, which is Pakistani administered Kashmir, Indian administered Kashmir, and Pakistani administered Gilgit and Baltistan. And we try to help people to help themselves, so that they can stand on their own feet, they can recover from the disasters, whether they are man-made or the natural disasters. There's lots of, obviously, for over the years, Kashmiris are suffering through hardship, through conflict, and natural disasters. And our journey started back in 1999, when the Kargil conflict happened between the two armies, and thousands of people displaced. And then at that time we supported people to rehabilitate, starting our journey from Bhimber, one of the districts in Kashmir. Then in 2005, when the earthquake came, KYP at that time was in the old building, and very many of the colleagues over here were present over here, our councillors, volunteers, members of the communities. They all came together and phenomenally helped in rehabilitating people affected by earthquake in that time in Kashmir. Even we have airshipped one of the containers from KYP, and KYP has coordinated all that project. And Kashmir Development Foundation was on the other hand, delivering of that humanitarian aid to the people who were affected. Today, I will just share with a few of the things with you, and that is based on obviously our vision and our mission, which is very simple. Our mission, our vision is that we want a peaceful, prosperous society where we live, and we exist to empower the voices of the Kashmiri community wherever they are, and hence initially when we started the Kashmir Day, National Day back in 2012. And my special thanks goes to Consul Darat Ali and more so ex-Consul Cecile Bian, who managed, and our great friend Mr. Surinder Bian, who actually helped us to make this happen in Raçhdeel back in 2012, and the first time Kashmiri flag was raised, and then from that on British Kashmiri Raçhdeel Association that's take the baton on, and every year they organize this event and they help and facilitate us to get together. So coming back to what we obviously working together, we are looking at that how can we support people through training, whether humanitarian aid and development across within our community as well as the partner organizations we work with. So I will show a small video and which is linking with the Raçhdeel initiatives Consul Darat Ali has just mentioned, and I'm grateful for the Council, all the Council members, to choosing Kashmir Development Foundation as one of their nominated charities, along with the National Disaster Emergency Committee as well. So this film we will be looking at now is from Boober village, which is in Gilgit-Baltistan, the far north of the country, very mountainous and hilly area, and you will see what activities we are currently have managed to do up till now, and what we would like to do next as well.
हम खड़े हैं ये ऊपर का जो बलबुआ इलाका है जो 26 अगस्त को आने वाले सैलाब से बदतरीन मुतासिर हुआ था। इस सैलाब की वजह से यहाँ पर 10 इंसानी जानें ज़िया हुई, लेकिन हज़ारों कनाल ज़रिए अराज़ी, हज़ारों दरख्त, सैकड़ों माल मवेशी सैलाब के नजर हुए। साथ ही साथ 32 घराने मुकम्मल डैमेज जिनके निशान तक बढ़ गई है। कोई 30 के करीब ऐसे घराने हैं जहाँ पर दोबारा रहना मुमकिन नहीं है। इस हिसाब से 62 मुकम्मल बेघर हो गए हैं। और पार्शियली जो डैमेज है, अब पहले तीनों अतराफ अगर आप देख लें, अभी भी यहाँ पर एक्सक्वेटर काम में लगा हुआ है। अभी भी मलबे तले दबी हुई गाड़ियों को निकालने की कोशिश की जा रही है। KDF ने अब तक इस गाँव के अंदर तकरीबन 11,56,000 के मंसूबे मुकम्मल किए हैं। उनके जो मंसूबे थे वो 3 फेजेस में हमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए। मैंने कोऑर्डिनेट किया था क्योंकि मेरे साथ KDF का MOU साइन हुआ था। पहले फेज के अंदर हमने कोई 8-10 मुतासरा
प्लीज जी ना, और असा हिसाब से जी डिजास्टर वीडियो उसने किया, उसने यह है कि अगर असा 20 पाउंड दे रहे हैं तो गवर्नमेंट का लोकल जो बैंक है कि वो 20 पाउंड भी उसने नाल देने। सो बाकी चैरिटियां भी काफी कम कर दिया। हमारे ख्याल है वो फूड देना लगी उसे, लेकिन उसको पहले कैन आई रिक्वेस्ट अवर मेयर to come and administer the raffle, and can I ask two young children, back come and help Mr. Mayor to pick up the raffle prizes. Thank you. Raffles are coming, but then again I would say please put your miles on every day and get your friends. And then so especially the portfolio holder for communities and voluntary sector, she's doing her best to send the message out. Trisha is not here. She's doing a lot on the environment, and she's encouraging people. But get your friends, get everybody, get collecting the miles, and then give some money so that we can help people over there, and hopefully, like Aftab said, we would have a sustainable fundraising to further develop and rehabilitate people. So, are we any near the Konzo? Yeah. You leave the mic there.
I'm going to let the young people that take them out. Come on.
160.
160. Anybody 160? Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, take your prize. Come on, Councillor. Number 17. Number 17, anybody number 17? Come on, sir. Boys, always come to us, folks. Come on, come on, take your prize.
$228.
228. You finally won something today. Come on, take your prizes.
Number 90.
Number 90. 90. Please come and take your prize. Number 44. किसका पास है 44? $170. Oh, another councillor from Mary. I told you, Mr. Mewan, you will win something. Number 33. Oh, look who's won the director's song. Come on, come on. Sister has been the runner-up, is it? Number 33,
54. Anybody got number 54?
Number 54. Number 57.
$163.
163, anybody? 163, anyone?
$123. Anybody got 123?
123. Mamdud. Come on, Mamdud. In the street. One of the sponsors taken, right?
$43.